Hi, this is Joseph. It is Friday, June 21st, 2019. We're officially done trading for the week and we've taken a few hours off. So I trade around the clock. This is to give you an idea of what you could expect if you use the Forex Automated Trade Signals Trade Copier service. So I trade around the clock Monday to Friday. Actually, I start trading. I'm in California, so the market opens at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday in California. That's the start of the new week. And most of the time I'm paying attention. So we're going to take a look at where price ended on some of these charts. I'll show you how I set up my charts for the start of the next week. And we'll talk about some of the trades that I've executed this week. That'll give you an idea of how I trade around the news. It'll give you an idea of how many trades I have open at any one particular given time. Sometimes I'll have 3 or 4 trades open at one time with this particular trade copier service. So please remember and please keep in mind, this trade copier service is reserved for my more advanced um, uh, subscribers. That's probably the easiest way. They obviously have more money, more capital available to trade. They're looking to make more profits. Very often, a lot of my subscribers that use this particular service, this Forex Automated Trade Signals, they make $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, 15, some of them even over $30,000 a month. And when I, throw out some of these numbers, they're real. This is what some of my subscribers are actually earning, but they have sufficient capital in their account to be executing one standard lot, 2 standard lots. That's really going to be more or less cost effective. It's going to make a service like this cost effective. Now, you can certainly use this service with trading a mini lot, earning approximately $1 a pip. And right now, again, this is the 21st of June. My net profit, my net total results are 1,694 pips. That includes all winning and losing positions, all positions, everything winning and losses. I'll show you my losses for the month. And I keep them very small. And that's also something else that I think is really important that you know about my style of trading. Because if you're going to use a signal system like this and you're going to be adding it or connecting it to your MT4 account, I'm going to be doing the trading for you. So it's really important that you know or have a good sense of what it is that I'm doing, how I do it, what are my philosophies, what are my approaches. In some cases, even how do I live my life? do I sit around and drink all week, or do I drink coffee? Do I sleep? Am I exhausted? Do I trade like a zombie? These are really important things to take into consideration. And the reason that I know that is that I went through those things. Now, I've never been an alcoholic or a drinker or anything like that. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Occasionally, I might have one beer on the weekend, and I don't remember the last time I had a beer. And it's not that I have a problem with it. It's just not my thing. It's just not my style. As far as doing drugs, I don't do that. The only thing that I really do is drink an occasional bang drink, an energy drink, just to sort of kick things started for the day or the morning. But it's I take care of myself. I get 8, sometimes 9, even if I can, 10 hours of sleep. I love to sleep. In the beginning of my trading career, I used to sleep very little. I would trade around the clock, and I thought that was the way to do it. But it's not the way to do it. So I can earn profits like this by taking care of myself and being in full control of my behavior and my environment. So let's take a look at the performance page. This is the performance page. These are all real live trades. My Trade Copier subscribers can actually come to this page to verify that I'm actually posting these results correctly. There is a dashboard because we do use Social Trader Tools. We use their Trade Copier for this service. So there's a dashboard that you can go in and you can see exactly how long some of these trades were opened. You get all the details. There's spreadsheets, graphs, things like that you can print out. I really like the reporting features on this. So I had a loss Wednesday. This was FOMC day. I had a loss of 32 pips. It was a continuation breakout trade. And when I trade the continuation breakout trade, it's a 55 pip take profit, and I use a 55 pip stop loss. These 3 right here are continuation breakout trades. This one right here is a continuation breakout trade. So when I trade the continuation breakout trade, this is a strategy that I developed. This is the first technique that I developed back in 2001. So when I traded on the majors, I use a 55 pip stop and a 55 pip take profit. But, and I say this often, if a continuation breakout trade isn't working out in my favor, it doesn't mean that I have to take the 55 pip stop loss, the hit on that. I don't have to take that. If I can see that it's not working and it's falling apart and the market's changed, or I just whatever was wrong with my entry, there's something wrong with the trade, I'll cut it off. That's what I did here. When I was able to determine that the continuation breakout trade was no longer going to work and things were turning in the market at that point on Wednesday before FOMC, I realized what was going on there. It was the expectation at that point as we got closer to FOMC that things weren't going to turn out that way, that things were going to go a lot higher. And then I reversed position and closed that trade and waited for FOMC. Now, this day, Wednesday, really started. So I have another technique that I call the HL30. And the HL30, I execute that trade on a 30-minute time frame. I'm going to show you some of these on the charts in just a moment here. And that particular strategy is a 20 pip target, 20 pip stop. So in this case, because of the entry, a little bit of slippage, reporting correctly, I only earned 19 pips. And these don't really, I mean, you've got to take into consideration, the timing, the pip spread, things like that on your trade. But this one earned 19 pips, and that's where the day started. So if I go to my charts, I can go to my HL30 page, and then I can show you Wednesday, and you can see what happened on Wednesday with the dollar Swiss. That was back over here. I'll go ahead and detach this. This is Friday. The market's closed. There's Thursday, and here is Wednesday. So Wednesday, you can see that we had an HL30 right here, and that gave me an opportunity to sell it for 20 pips. Now, what happens later, and this happens often, it doesn't happen every day, right? Every day is going to be different. This is just to give you an idea of what I do and why my performance looks like this. Why is it that I can take one trade and then take another trade and take another trade and have 8-9 trades and make 350 pips on this day, including the 32 pip loss? I ended up profits with 350 pips. So one of the things, again, if I go back to the start of this day, this is a perfect way to set up how I trade. This is during the Asian session, right? So the Asian session, there's the start of the new day, the 5 o'clock rollover, and I'm setting up my charts, and I have this trading range right here, and here is my 10 pip range to set up the HL30, and that's my HL30 entry, and there's my 20 pip target. And then I lock in profits. I follow the plan. I take profits. I know a lot of people, in the beginning of your trading career, I know because I did this. In the beginning of your trading career, you might get into a really good trade. Let's say you have a general idea of where your target is, but you are up maybe 20, 30, 40 pips, and you think, wow, this is great. I want more. I did that. And then you end up holding too long, and you don't know where to take profits, and then the whole thing goes against you, and you give back all of the profits. So I experienced that. So the way to figure that out is to figure out how far, based on the technique or the strategy or what you're trading off of, what is it that you're doing. It's vague in the beginning if you don't know, if you're not developing these systems yourself. But what I'm doing here is trading off of the previous day's high, and this is the initial setup. And sometimes this could be as high as it's going to go for the week. That is what actually ended up happening. And then I can trade another strategy, so I lock in profits knowing that I'm going to get another trade. I've got to get paid. If I'm going to sit here and watch this for 8, 9, 10 hours, I've got to get paid. That's the day trading plan that I have. I developed this back in 2001, and I just repeat this over and over again. And that's why I'm able to earn profits like this in a single day. This is not double counting. This is from the entry to the final target. Even if I experience a loss, you can see just how quickly I can earn back that loss and then still close way above where that loss was. This is the way that I trade. This is the way that I trade with this service, the Forex Automated Trade Signals. This is for more advanced traders that understand money management and understand that there's going to be times when there's going to be 2, 3, or 4 trades open at the same time. And if you're using leverage, and I repeat this all of the time, I have for years, if you're using leverage that's just too high, lot sizing, if you're pushing it. You need to slow down and you need to take the time to understand these principles. And so that you can participate in all of these trades, you're going to have to scale back on the lot sizing. Now, you know how to do that if you're a trader that's just right for this particular service. You know how to do that. You already know what to do. When you log into the dashboard of the Trade Copier, We use social trader tools. You're going to be able to set up the lot sizing, so you have complete control over that. I don't. All I do is execute the trades, and then you have control over the lot sizing. So again, even with a 55 pip stop loss, I get that question a lot. What's the largest size stop loss that you use? It's 55 pips, but it doesn't mean that I have to get hit 55 pips even on a bad trade. So here was 32 pips was the largest loss there. And then before that, I had a loss. This has been a pretty good month as far as losses and wins. The next loss was back up here, minus 20 pips right here. So far I've got 2 losses for the month, and we've got 1 more week left. And there's a lot of trades here. This is pretty typical, but there are times when I'll have about the same number of trades, and maybe I'll have 4, 5, or 6 losses. Either way, I'm closing with a lot of pips at the end of the month. I mean, right now we're at 1,694 pips on Friday, June 21st, and we still have next week to go. So it's possible that next week could be very, very similar. I believe that we earned 795 pips for the week. Just for this week alone, I believe that's where we stand. Again, 700 and sorry about that. I'm trying to pull up this performance here. 759 pips for the week. So it's possible. I mean, the week before was about 700 pips, I believe. So it's possible that we could get 5, 6, 700 pips, and then we could clear 2,000 pips for the month. It's possible. Today, I earned 120 pips with all of these trades. Again, on Wednesday, I earned 350 pips with all of these trades. So you'll see that some days are different, right? So again, going back to these continuation breakout trades and this HL30 that really started the day before FOMC, you can see how things unfolded. You can go to the daily time frame for the dollar Swiss, and you can see this was the peak for the week. That's it. And then the dollar just continued to drop. And I got a continuation breakout trade that I traded later. This was my continuation breakout trade here. This is not the right chart and the right time frame for the continuation breakout trade. I have to trade that off of a 1-hour chart, but this is just to show you what happens. And then I was able to do the same thing here with the euro dollar. I'll go to the breakout page. So here's the continuation breakout trade. So we go back to the performance, and on Wednesday, FOMC day. So we go long here. This was late Wednesday into Thursday, and then short the dollar Swiss again. So I had a short on the dollar Swiss, which was the HL30. That's what set up from the previous day's high to the downside, 20 pips. But we ended up earning 19 here on this one. And then later on, I got a continuation breakout trade to trade that continued move to the downside as the dollar continued to weaken after FOMC. And then it gave me an opportunity to short it and earn 55 pips there. But then I was able to trade and go long pound dollar, go short dollar Canadian. Let's take a look at some of those as well. So this was later on later on in the day. It took a little bit longer for the euro dollar to trigger that the continuation breakout trade, and then the continuation breakout trade here on the pound dollar. That one worked out really well. And then I mentioned the short on the dollar Canadian. This was the continuation breakout trade, the short on the dollar Canadian. And then Thursday, there was a bounce. I took a Tech 1 trade. So I switched to a 30-minute chart. There's my entry. That reflects this particular trade right here going long. That's that bounce off of support. Now, when I trade the bounces, you'll notice that my templates change. You'll notice that the indicators change. So this is for the 1-hour chart, the continuation breakout trade. These indicators here. I use the Bollinger Bands, the CCI, the standard CCI, not Woody CCI, and then the MACD histogram. But when I'm trading reversals like this, I don't rely on these indicators. I switch to a different chart. So this is my reversals page. When I trade reversals, and I'll show you the setup and the indicators that I use for that, I'll go to the dollar Canadian. Right down here. These are the indicators that I use for the reversal. So I'm still using the Bollinger Bands. I'm using %B and bandwidth. Now, I'm not going to get into detail because I could go on for like the next hour or two talking about what these indicators need to be doing, why I use them. I'm a big fan of John Bollinger. I've always used Bollinger Bands. I've for the most part, mastered the Bollinger Bands. And I've put a little twist, right? When you get to the point where you really know something really well, you can incorporate a few extras so that way you can trade not just the original setup, but then maybe variations of those setups. So that's how I grew my trading system. I started off with a continuation breakout trade, and then I started off with a Tech 1 trade, which was a reversal. And then I ended up with the T2 pattern and the HL30 and the IMP crown pattern, goes on and on. So these are the indicators that I rely on for reversals. Switching to between the two, 30-minute chart and the 1-hour chart, and then the Woody's CCI indicator. You'll notice on some of those the videos on the website, every once in a while I'll trade the Woody's CCI ghost pattern. And I'm very particular about doing that. I actually traded many, many, many years ago in the Woody's CCI club, in the group, in the chat room with them. And so just to give you a little background, I've tried lots of things. Like I've studied from many, many different people over the course of my trading career since 2001. And I'm really, really grateful for all of everything that I've learned from all of them. So the Woody's CCI traders, for the most part, they scare me. So, and what I mean by that is what they would do, the hardcore Woody CCI traders, they would trade the Woody's CCI indicator as a system by itself, and they didn't pay attention to where price was or the candle patterns. They would trade the patterns right here, the real hardcore ones. And I kept experiencing losses when I tried that. So I didn't like doing that. I just couldn't. But I liked some of the things that they were doing, and it made sense to me. So let's say, for example, if I'm going to use the Woody's CCI, the ghost pattern, I'm going to make sure that I incorporate that, like let's say with the fade the double zero or a bounce off of support or resistance. So then I'm using that particular strategy with more forms of confirmation. I'm all about confirmation. I'm a really, really patient trader. I'll wait as many hours as it takes before I get a signal, before I get it into a trade. And I want to know, and I say this to myself at the start of every day, I'm going to be 100% right. I want to be right on all of my trades. That's my attitude. I know that I'm going to experience a loss. But by having that attitude, I start off the day making sure that my execution is perfect. That's the only thing that's under my control is my execution. I can't get in and out and jump around and chase price up and down just because it's moving without knowing why it's moving. Which brings me back to these targets. So when I start talking about these targets, the 20 pip target for the HL30, the 55 pip target on the breakouts, I measured and calculated those. I tested those. I scientifically created my trading system. I video documented and video journaled everything, manual, written journal, broke down everything, tested it with my live trading accounts and my live money. This is a system that has produced so much money for me and my family and my subscribers and my investors, and I want to share it with you. I can trade and execute these trades for you. When you use the trade copier, you get these trades just like you see here on the performance. At this time, there were 3 open trades. And then the dollar Canadian closed first. I still had these 2 open for a few more hours later. I closed those and then was able to find the long. The continuation actually gave me the 3 pip entry to go long there. And then I just continued for the rest of the day. Sometimes I only have 1 trade open at a time. Sometimes I have 2 trades open at a time. Sometimes I have 3 trades open at a time. There are times when I don't have a trade signal during the Asian session. So there's nothing for me to do. And then other times I get a trade during the Asian session. It's all based on market activity. It's all up to whatever the market's doing. I love day trading. It is my passion. There's nothing else I would rather do. If I had to make a choice to pick one thing that I really wanted to do, it would be to sit and watch price action, listen to economic data, follow it along, watch the reaction, wait for my setup, execute with extreme discipline, patience, and just duplicating and then getting paid. Closing the trade at the take profit level and then getting paid. That's the key. That's what's important. That's what puts food on my table for my family. That's what gives my investors the return that they're looking for. And that's what earns profits for my subscribers just like you who use the trade copier, because I trade just like this. This is how I really trade personally in my own account. So again, you get the benefit of using a trade copier service like this as opposed to an entry-level trade copier service like the Best Forex Trade Copier. That one is just 1 trade at a time. It's for individuals who have really, really small accounts. They're trading micro lots. They don't care. They only want one trade at a time. They're using leverage that's just way too high. It would scare most people, and they're okay with that. They want to pay one time. This is a monthly subscription. We'll go back over here to the homepage. It is $179 per month, every month. I don't do discounts. I don't group and give price breaks for buying 1 or 2 or 3 months. It's just a straight rate of $179. It's me personally trading for you. I do all of the work. Sometimes I trade 8 hours, sometimes I trade 10 hours, and sometimes I trade 18 hours in a single day. I work really hard. I work around the clock. I've been doing this since 2001. I love it. It's my passion. I want to give these trades to you, and using this trade copier, you're going to benefit from understanding the leverage and the exposure to capital, dialing that back so that you can participate in all of these trades. I have some subscribers. I do have some subscribers that can withstand several trades, 3 or 4 open trades with standard lots, even with the negative retracement. They've prepared for that, and they have capital available in their trading account to participate in trades like this. I have many of them who do. I have other subscribers that are basically using mini lots. So when I'm up 1,600 and what did I say? 649, 1,649 or something like that. I apologize for it's been a really long day. I've been up through the London and New York session, and it's 10 minutes after 8 p.m. California time. So I've been at it all day long. So I apologize. Give me just a moment and I'll pull up those. Well, actually, I can just go here, right? This is the page where we update it once a week. 1,694 pips with $1, earning $1 a pip. You're still at $1,694. But very many of my subscribers will put on like 2 or 3 lots on every single trade using mini lots. It's up to you. It really is. I'm just giving you some ideas of what some of my subscribers do. I can see it, and I can see the leverage they're using. This is, again, for a more advanced trader who's looking to make a lot of money. This supplements some of my subscribers' incomes. For others, it's supplementing and helping them fund their retirements. And for other people, it is actually replacing their income. They have sufficient capital in their account. They're trading standard lots. They're earning well over $10,000-$15,000 a month from these trades. So I want to give you this. I want you to take advantage of this. Again, I do this every single month. I only open up the doors to new subscribers at the beginning of every month for 5 days only, and I have sold out in the past. I want to keep this very exclusive. I want to keep it to a very select, tight-knit group of traders. I want to be happy with my subscribers. I want them to be happy with me. I want to form relationships with all of my subscribers. I want them to continue to use my service for many, many, many years. Now, right now, if you are purchasing the upgrade, you have until the end of this weekend. It is Friday right now to get your purchase in. After this weekend, I'm cutting it off, and I'm not allowing anybody to upgrade from any other previous trade copier service with that discount. So remember, there's a discount if you upgrade now, but if you decide to use this service after this weekend and on Monday you come back to the site, the upgrade discount isn't going to be available. Right now, you can get the upgrade discount, which is a hell of a deal. I mean, it's a great deal. It's because I do appreciate you if you have previously used the trade copier service and I want you to participate in it. I'm giving you a really, really great deal. But if you come back and you don't get the upgrade, but you've been a previous subscriber and you're just late, I'm sorry, it's going to be cut off, and you'll just have to get in using this service at the $179 per month monthly fee. So this is it. It's this weekend, and I can't stop, and look back and change the plan later, and do another a special offer or anything like that. This is it. This weekend is the cutoff. So it's Friday. We're onboarding a lot of our subscribers that purchase through the week. I needed to know how many subscribers I was going to have because I purchase the memberships from Social Trader Tools. Let's go back over here. Social Trader Tools is the trade copier that we use. So somebody has to pay for these, right? Every subscriber that uses their trade copier has to pay. So I get a good price break on it because I buy so many subscriptions, And that's why we're onboarding them one at a time, all of our subscribers. So if you buy right now, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, you get updates, you get videos, emails. We add you to a new members email list, which is very important because that's where you're going to get all the updates from me. And then by Monday or Tuesday, you'll be getting all of your trades just like this into your trading account if you get in now over the weekend. So please, if you're considering upgrading, do it now. It'll make it easier for me, but it'll ensure that you get your copy, that you get it at the discounted price. Otherwise, if you miss it this weekend and you come back, it is going to be, unfortunately, $179 every month. That's the only way to get it. However, I mean, it's still worth it. I'm making well over 1,000 pips a month. On a really, really slow month, I get this question, what could you expect? And that's what they'll ask me. So let's say it's Christmas or Thanksgiving, New Year's holidays, things like that. It might get a little slow. So it could be, I remember years back, the least amount that I earned was 300 pips. It was over 300 pips, but we still closed with 300 pips, and it was a really, really slow holiday season. It just wasn't firing off very many signals. It was tight ranges of consolidation for days and days and days, and it was exhausting to sit and wait when it never happened. We just didn't get any breakouts. We didn't get any real solid reversals. I mean, everybody was just scalping and they were just chewing up their trading account, and I stayed out of it. So again, that's how I trade. This is the performance page. Get in now. Make sure you get in over the weekend. Do it as quick as possible, again, to ensure that you get your trade copier and to make it easy for me to set you up so that way you're getting your trades on Monday and Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Good luck. I want you to get into this. We're going to have a great week next week, and then I expect that the rest of the summer is going to produce results just like this. This is starting to really size up like a summer that I remember back in 2014, and we earned quite a bit of money during the summer. And this continues through September and October, and then it starts to slow down during November and December. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I look forward to trading for you.